Hi, Deepanjali. Please introduce your company to our listeners.
Okay, so our brand is called Heyday, and we launched in October of 2017. It's been a little over a year that we've been in business. The idea actually grew out of um, my own curiosity, where I was trying to come up with different options after returning from the States where I was working in Ernst Young. I went to two all women's institutions. I was at Carmel Convent in New Delhi, and then I went on to Columbia University in New York. I studied economics, and after graduation in 2014, I went on to join as a consultant for Ernst Young in their advisory department. I realized that there was a lot of work even to be done in our own country which hadn't been tackled with, and I actually came across a TED talk of the movie that's come out, Bad Man, of Arunachalam Murugananthanam, and some of the facts kind of appalled me, where he said that only 12% of Indian women use sanitary napkins. And, that's a very shocking figure because you would just assume that it's higher. And you think that women around you, your staff, the people you deal with, everyone is using sanitary napkins, but obviously that wasn't the case. So I decided, the curious brain that I decided to dig a bit deeper and understand, what the actual scenario in the Indian segment is, and how does the industry currently face, what is the innovation that's been done in the segment. And I realized that we hadn't seen any innovation in about over a decade. Yes, they do come up with, certain marketing gimmicks, make the pad longer, smaller, with wings, without wings, but actually to meddle with the ingredients of the product, nobody had, interfered in the segment or just come up with something new. And I saw some scope there. I wouldn't say that it was such an easy ride that, I just saw a TED talk, I knew my idea, and I, turned it around. It was sounding too rosy a picture, but there were a lot of things to be considered. There was a lot of testing that we conducted. I decided to, I came back to India in my break, decided to conduct some research. I did some with Nielsen, this research recently, and saw the figures with them, and I started tearing the existing pads apart and studying each and every ingredient that goes onto it. I mean, it's really sad to see that none of the packs, like if you choose any of the big brands, none of them mention their pack ingredients on the packaging. And so the women are absolutely unaware that 90% of their pads is made of plastic. And the other chemicals involved, the polymers, the perfume, the antibacterial agents, bleaches, all of these are extremely harmful for a woman's, vaginal skin. And the vaginal skin being so sensitive, anything that comes in contact with it can be easily absorbed into the bloodstream. And where on our body do we wear plastic? We don't. So plastic being in contact with the more sensitive skin for about 8 to 10 hours at a stretch. I mean, on a healthy note, women should be changing their pads in 4 to 5 hours. But in India, because of affordability, because of long hours, however, we end up using the pads much longer. So it's basically extremely harmful for you. It causes rashes, allergies, skin infection. So this is what made me realize that there is an absolute need to develop something that is not harmful and not only for a woman's body but also for the environment. About 995 million pads are dumped in landfills every year, causing like acres of landfills to be filled with sanitary napkin waste. There is no source of decomposition for about 400 to 500 years. So we tried, I brought a team together because it's not something that a lone person can do. Some were scientists, some were, just people who had industry knowledge, and we started trying to develop a prototype for sanitary napkin that was completely natural. It took us about 2.5 years before we were able to launch Heyday. A lot of building and unbuilding involved, and our final prototype we made out of corn and bamboo fibre. We used the spun-lace method, SPUNLACE, and we have a patented technology, highly specialized, that we use to create the pad on 12 production lines. Each pad has 7 layers of plant-based fiber. We realized that we tested a lot of plants to see what will work. But bamboo and corn work best for us because bamboo has natural high absorbency qualities, and it also has natural antibacterial qualities. And corn provides, softness of texture. So the Heyday pad top sheet is absolutely extremely soft. So if you touch it, if a customer touches it, they soon realize that it is a completely different product from the synthetic one. Because the look and feel looks like a regular pad but feels absolutely different. And most of our customers say that, they can't feel anything when they're wearing a pad as if they're not wearing anything at all. And each napkin is also covered in a biodegradable film, which is made out of cornstarch. And all in all, like the full pack, we also don't use polythene bags for our packaging because, again, plastic would contribute to waste in the environment. That nullifies the whole idea. So we use paper boxes. So the end-to-end Heyday product is completely biodegradable. Our products are also organic. We understand that organic is such a loosely used term in India now, but we've made a huge effort to make our products free from chemicals because anything, a small chemical, like I have had someone very close to me die of cervical cancer, and that is one of the reasons why cervical cancer can be caused is also the use of the exposure to chemicals through synthetic napkins in your vaginal area. So, there's no direct correlation. Nobody can say that, miscarriage or a birth defect or a cervical cancer can be caused through synthetic napkins, but it is proven that it could lead to it. So, we wanted to develop the best product that we could and that women would. We're still making a lot of changes. We're still improving the product, trying to increase the absorbency more, the coverage, adapting it to the women's needs in the market. But I think we've come out with a very good product with a good price. We have 2 types, an ultra thin and a maxi fluff. Maxi fluff is a bit thicker, ultra thin is thinner. And they're available in packs of 7 and 14. And our smallest pack starts at 99 rupees, the pack of 7. I think I covered a lot.
Yes, covered all the questions. But few still remains, why did you choose Heyday? It's a quite interesting
name.
As
a name?
Yeah, as a name.
So Heyday actually means your prime. It's a period of one's prime or the peak of their greatness. So, they say in my heydays,
Okay.
I used to do this, I used to do that. So we believe that every woman should be on her heyday every day, no
Okay.
matter if she has a period or not. And our branding is also very real. We don't make women, like jump around in white pants on their periods. We understand it's a painful process, but it is a natural process. It's very real. If you go through our digital media marketing, we're still a startup. So it's not like we have such deep pockets to, splurge in ads and all of that. But we have created a video ad. You might see it on Facebook, on our page. And
Still there on the YouTube channel of yours.
Yeah. So that's something that's very real. We brought in real women who one was a tattoo artist, a resource manager, student, PhD student, and we asked them, questions. They just knew that they're coming in for some free work where they might get paid. So like just to do some just free. Not like they were not actors or anything. We literally just asked them a set of questions, and these were their real responses. We gave them a Heyday bag to try and go to the restroom and come back, and then and we recorded the real reactions. And actually, all the women felt like it was something absolutely new and different. So, yeah, we've been doing very well. We've converted about 3.5 lakh women already, online and offline, in about a year plus of business. So, yeah.
And when you say it's eco-friendly, biodegradable, or climate-friendly, but is the glue used in it is a natural one, or it's like how is it made?
We use a plant-based resin.
Okay.
So it's completely natural as well. We make sure that each element of the product is natural. Otherwise, if something or the other defeats the purpose. So it's a plant-based resin. That's why I think that's one of the main complaints of our customers, that it's not enough, that they don't understand that it's like a natural synthetic glue will obviously have lot more sticking power than a natural one.
Right. And people today are much more sensitive toward their health and environmental issues. How do you plan to reach out to every individual, including them, educating them about this importance and the role of this product?
I mean, it's a constant struggle, and we are working towards it and raising awareness. We do a lot of, campaigns in schools and colleges. We try to conduct a lot of digital advertising because people are now usually, like every person has a phone, and everyone is constantly online and looking at new matter. So we are consciously trying to reach more people, place in more stores, and you'd actually be surprised that in our online customers, a lot of them are men, and they are gifting these products or buying these products for women, and making sure their wives or mothers or sisters or girlfriends or daughters are healthy and safe. And I think we're constantly, like I said, our content is very, it's not targeted only towards women. Make sure we're raising awareness. Yes, women are our main target group, but we don't differentiate. I mean, even if men call us and speak to our customer service representatives and discuss what is this actually made of, we're happy to explain to them and help them spread the word.
Okay. One thing, as you said in the starting of the interview, there are billions of this sanitary napkins have been dumped in the landfills and sewer areas. But, and it takes around 400-500 years to decompose this non-biodegradables. Heyday is solving that problem, but what is the time frame for this decomposition of these napkins? Any research or any?
Our products decompose within 6 months to 2 years of disposal.
Okay.
So, they decompose 6 months if it's, put in a compost pit. A lot of our customers have their own compost pits within their homes or their gardens or something like that. So they ask us, how do we decompose it? It can be thrown with your general household waste as well. And it decomposes under the action of microorganisms, the air or soil. It takes about 2 years at the very most, so it's a huge, because the product all natural and it will break down. It's like throwing an apple into the soil or in a landfill. It will decompose.
Okay. Most women and girls in rural area use clothes which is not dried in proper sunlight for reuse. But the price tag that Heyday carries is comparatively higher. How do you plan to reach this segment of the society?
The 12% that is using sanitary napkins currently, you have to see that India is a very large nation and we are like a drop in the ocean. So yes, we want to reach more people and make a difference, and that is our whole target why we come into this. But we're also not a charitable organization. We have to make sure that we are viable to sustain ourselves. So yes, it's priced slightly higher than the regular sanitary napkins. Other organic napkins which are not even actually organic. They claim to be organic. They are priced like at 700 rupees or something, or 300 rupees, which is extremely high. We brought it at a slight premium. If you want something for your health, it's 99 rupees, not too high. But yes, for the rural segment, we haven't yet been able to develop a product because the manufacturing of this kind of finish is extremely costly, and we're not being able to develop something at a super cheap price at this finish.
So do you plan to manufacture something like that for the rural segment particularly?
Eventually, we don't want to compromise on quality. So it's not like we just want to flood the market with our product. We want each and every woman who uses it to return and buy the product. So even as a business perspective, we make sure that our returning customer base is extremely high, so that we're retaining our customers, making sure they're still coming and liking and going for the product again and again, and are extremely comfortable with it. And if there's something that we can do to improve that, we definitely incorporate that. But in the future, yes, hopefully someday we can come up with affordable option for rural women as well, and do some CSR activities and raise awareness in rural India. But right now our focus is for the 12% who are using sanitary napkins and don't know what they're using and the harmful effects of the synthetic pads.
As you said, you are currently manufacturing your products in Finland and China, and that's because of the unavailability of the land and organic land. Probably. And
so
do you have any plan to manufacture in India anytime in the near future?
So, when we were researching about the product, we tested a lot of land, and any plots next to it where the soil is shared, there might be a boundary on top, but the soil is common for adjacent pieces of land. And the chemicals percolate from years of using pesticides and insecticides. So we found a company that was developing a vertical farm where they had nurtured organic soil for about a decade. And that's how long it takes to keep the soil absolutely free from any chemicals. And we haven't seen it here, but we are always on the lookout for that soil which is completely organic and without chemicals. So if you have any leads, please do let us know.
Is there any product that you're coming up with, or you are currently working on?
We are currently bringing out some new products. We've come out with baby diapers and panty liners, which we'll be launching in about a month's time.
This year?
Yes.
Okay. And is your company in any way associated with any NGOs or organization which specifically work for the women or children health and environment issues?
Yeah, we do associate. We've helped a lot of NGOs and donated our products, but we're not directly linked with an NGO. We plan to establish a collection soon. We're going to run a campaign for women because we've realized that women want to give back to society as well, and if we can be the channel for them, then it's a win-win. So we're going to try and bring out an offer where they can buy a pack and try to, or for every 500 packs people buy, we are going to donate 50 packs to an NGO or something like that. So we're still working on that model.
Okay. Thank you, Deepanjali. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, I hope I've answered all your questions.